Yes, of course. So my name's Gemma Williamson. I'm one of the executive head teachers of Roots Federation, and we were very fortunate to win the Business Awards UK recognition for SEN support.
Could you provide an overview of your career journey that ultimately led to you becoming the executive head teacher of Roots Federation, along with a brief description and history of the business?
Of course. So I have been a qualified teacher for many years, working across the primary phase. I've been a foundation stage leader. I've been an assistant head, working in a primary school in Hertfordshire, and have worked with the local authority looking at early years provision in Hertfordshire. I then took on the role of head teacher of one school within the Federation, and worked within that school for a number of years before being asked by the local authority to support in a second nursery school in Hertfordshire. Supported that nursery school, and then started working collaboratively with my colleague, Hayley, who's the other executive head teacher of Roots Federation. And the three nursery schools then started working seamlessly together, and Federation was the next step to make that a strong collaboration and to make that a formal recognition so we could work collaboratively across all three. So Roots Federation was formed. That was back in April 22, and within that we have separate roles. So I am the Senko for the Federation. So I work as a Senko for across the three schools, supporting children from 3 months is our youngest child that we have with us, right up to 5-year-olds who have a deferred entry for many different reasons. And the Federation was formed. It's currently 3 maintained nursery schools in Hertfordshire, and we do more than that. So we support primary schools, secondary schools, PVIs, just looking at the best practice of early years actually is best practice for many children, not just the under 5s. And our vision is about educational excellence. So the Roots Federation vision is exceptional early years education and beyond. And centrally rooted to that is the support that we provide to our families of children who have diagnosed or undiagnosed SEN needs. And it's about working together with families, with staff, with other professionals within education to understand what it is what are our challenges, to understand what these families, support staff, set in schools need, and share that expertise, and to provide resources, assets, skills to make sure that we are providing the best to all children, but particularly making sure that we're including all children. And central to our business and central to Roots Federation is making sure that every family and every parent has the same opportunities, irrelevant of any diagnoses that they may have had for their children or maybe on the journey of receiving.
What would you say is the main challenges you've overcome as executive head teacher of Roots Federation? And what advice would you give to someone who's maybe looking to enter the childcare services kind of industry?
I think the biggest challenges in education, and particularly early years, is finance, is money, and is recruitment and retention. And that doesn't come as a shock. It's very much there in the press at the moment. But I think if we unpick that, actually, the roots of problems with finance and the roots in recruitment often is because of employment, is because of the employer. It's not necessarily that education is underfunded. If you use the most universal tools and you are reflective and responsive to things that need to happen, actually those challenges can become a success story. Now we know we've received this award for the best SEN support, and we've been able to do that because we've been able to evaluate, we reflect, we respond to challenges and difficulties that come through our door, and we never say no to anybody with or without funding. But what we do is we look at the skills and resources that we've got on site, that we've got available to us immediately. We look at how they can be reallocated, how they can be changed, and central to that is a really robust CPD programme. And that's been one of the challenges, again linked to recruitment and finance, is being able to fund that CPD programme in order to retain the right staff. And if we go back to our vision, and our vision being exceptional early years education and beyond, that is absolutely key, because if we put the right skill sets and CPD programme into our staff, we want to upskill them, we want them to work with us and provide the right provision. But also, if they're trained to a certain level, they then leave Roots Federation and bring that skill set to support families and children beyond our federation. So that challenge of getting it right is really, really important on the day and in the month and in the year for those children. But actually, Roots Federation are about supporting Hertfordshire and beyond in getting it right. So going back to your question in what have been my main challenges, it is finance and it is recruitment, and they continue to be a challenge. But I truly believe if you are looking to get into the childcare services industry, it's about finding the right place for you, because there are different places that have different beliefs and different resources and different services, but there is a place for everybody in childcare. It's about finding the right place. It's about finding the place that you can match your morals and ethos to. There'll be a reason that you are looking to join the childcare services industry. So find the place that matches that reason and then follow your path through that. And I would say be really, really clear that was very Welsh. Be really, really clear on thinking about are you going to be working for people that regularly reflect, regularly evaluate, and are willing to make changes? Because if they're not willing to make changes, then things won't improve for you as an employee, and things won't improve for children. So it's about understanding yourself, the reason why, and matching that reason why to where you're going to fulfill your next journey.
What will you attribute as the main reason for your business's success, would you say?
The business is only as successful as the staff that work within it. And I think that's really important to reference within this. I think if we are looking at our award and looking at the SEN Support Award, I think the culture of inclusion is throughout our business. And Roots Federation have developed a reputation for being a place where everybody is accepted, and that's everybody from child to family to staff. And that comes back to the recognition that every child is part of the family of Roots Federation, irrelevant of which school that they go to. Every staff member is part of that family, and that reputation is because we don't stand still. If a family has not got access to a service, then we find them that access. If a family are struggling to go through the education healthcare plan process, we guide them through it. We are very fortunate to have good support from our Hertfordshire County Council SEND services, and we utilise those services. But I truly believe the main reason for Roots Federation's success is we don't sit still. If we see that things aren't working, we respond to it. If we can see that there is a need or a trend, we respond, and we are reflective of trends. So if we think the cohort now are the cohort that were the first cohort really impacted by the COVID pandemic, and we've had to respond to that. The level of communication and needs skills of our children are not where they were a year, 2 years ago. We've had to respond to that, and we conduct a lot of research. Haley, the other executive teacher, and I read a lot of research. We start to look for trends. We start to empower our staff, or we are empowering our staff to be responsive and have the confidence to have a go. And that's really important, and that's what's created our culture of inclusion. We don't see children as challenges. We don't see diagnosis or no diagnosis as challenges. We see them as opportunities to broaden our skills, and to open doors to services that we didn't know were there previously. And it's about that openness to change and that drive to want to get it right for all children, particularly those with special educational needs, and it's having the confidence to do what you believe is right, not necessarily what the company or the PVI or the industry are doing next door. Doing what you believe is right for that child, for that family, for that staff member that are part of our Roots Federation family. And it's about listening, really listening to those challenges, and being available to guide staff, to guide families, to guide children. And it goes back to that the previous question about what are our challenges, and finance being one of them. Listening and guiding and directing takes time, but if you do it right first time, then you reap the rewards. You started by asking me there, what do you think, what attribute is the main reason for our success? And I think it is exactly the culture of inclusion, but it's about the willingness and openness to learn, and that goes right the way through our staff team. There's no member of staff within our team that doesn't see inclusion as what we do. And this time of the year is more apparent when we start to look about transitions and children moving on.
Since winning that award, how has that affected your business, would you say, both internally and externally?
It's been wonderful for the staff to have that recognition of what they do, to hear the parents' response when we obviously informed the parents. Many of them said, well, that didn't come as a shock, and wanted to then tell us why we deserve to win it and the journey that they've been on. It's been really wonderful to see it recognised by local MPs. So we've had it, it's been picked up by one of the local MPs to one of our nursery schools, and the publicity, I can't even say the word now, the publicity of this award has raised the profile of our federation, particularly on social media, and our dream is to be Hertfordshire and beyond, but actually the recognition by other professionals that we've looked up to, and we read their research, have come back to us and are asking us questions as to, so how have you done that? What have you been able to do, and how are you doing things differently? And it links into what's our challenge. Finance is our challenge, and finance is the sector's challenge. Many years ago, it would have been, the child's got this diagnosis, they need a one-to-one. We don't do that. We empower our children to become reliant on a team of adults, and no adult being different to the next. And it's been really exciting to share that ethos wider than we did before the award. But looking at the provision being matched to the children, not the adults being matched to the children, and being able to share that message wider, with the hope that will impact and have a positive repercussion for children that are going through a journey of diagnosis, and families, and are often hit with walls of, we can't employ somebody, so they can't come to our school. And there are children, that require a one-to-one because of physical disability or medical challenges that require that supervision, but that's not the case for all children. And winning this award has allowed us to be able to share that message, that inclusion is not exclusion. Removing children for intervention or providing children with a speech and language target twice a week in a separate room is not inclusion. It's about your provision supporting that speech and language need on a day-to-day, minute-by-minute, hour-by-hour process. And we take that for granted in Roots Federation because it's what the staff do day in, day out. And, as the Senko of Roots Federation, I'm privileged to see that on a day-to-day basis, but we can often take that for granted. And this award has recognised what the staff do and what we are fortunate enough to be able to offer our families and children. It's given that the recognition that we truly believe staff deserve, but this has made it much more public.
As an award winner, would you recommend Business Awards UK to other businesses?
I absolutely would. As I said previously, I've explained the reasons why, but I would also say, why would you not? If you truly believe what you're doing is getting the right results, it is making a difference to children, which is our core moral purpose, why would you not recommend Business Awards UK to people? It's, if you truly believe what you're doing can have an impact on children, then more people should be doing it. And Business Awards UK has allowed us to share that message and to share that you don't have to be worried by the level of education, special educational needs and disabilities that are becoming more, rightly so, are attending more mainstream provisions. And it's important to have that recognition. And if you truly believe that you're doing it right, then shout from the rooftops about it, because one nugget for you might be the crown for the next child's provision. And it's really about getting that out there. And Business Awards UK has allowed us and given us that platform to hopefully make a difference to many more children's education and career as you move through. So it's that, if you are thinking about it, why wouldn't you think about it, is my thought process.
What would you say is the next big step for yourself in the Roots Federation, would you say?
I think they go hand in hand. The next step for myself and for Roots Federation is to expand that support, to expand our reach of support, to empower adults, staff, practitioners, managers, owners, CEOs of multi-academy trusts to really think about the provision that is the foundation to many of their schools, or is the stepping stone for many children's future lifelong learning and education. So the next step for us is to expand the support that we offer to settings and schools, to empower staff to evaluate, review and reflect, because that's absolutely key. And as I've said throughout this, having that response is really, really important, but having the right response. So equipping staff, equipping people within the industry to have the tools, to have the skills, and to have the confidence, more than anything, to ensure that they are providing the most exceptional early years education to our children, because they don't get this time back. And Roots Federation, our core purpose is to make sure that we maximise those first 5 years for children, but for families as well, who are starting on a long journey through the education system. And it's key to us at Roots Federation that we've got people working with our youngest children who are confident to make the right choice for the children of that cohort.
Brilliant. That is, well, it sounds that you have definitely got a plan together. You're definitely ready for the future, which is always great to hear. And no, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today, Gemma. If people want to find yourself, or they want to find Roots Federation, where can they find you?
There's our website. So if you Google Roots Federation Consultancy or Roots Federation, we do have a website, and on the website is ask us a question or talk to us, drop us a line, and we'll get straight back in touch with you. We're also on LinkedIn. So myself, my profile on LinkedIn, my colleague, Hayley Yendell, the other executive head teacher, is on LinkedIn. We also have a Facebook and an Instagram page, which says share a wide range of tips and ideas. I would say, if you have a question, if you want to ask something, just drop us a line, and we can have a free conversation, and we can give you some tips and advice. You're having a bad day, we're living it. Myself and Hayley are head teachers of 3 maintained nursery schools, like I say, working from 3 months with children from 3 months up to 5. We are living it on a day-to-day basis. So you're not alone. Don't feel that you are ever alone. Reach out to us. We will do what we can to help and support you, and hopefully form a relationship to support our children of the future.
Brilliant. That's fantastic to hear. We'll make sure to link them in the description below. Again, thank you so much for joining us today, Gemma. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.